I now recognize Norway. Norway, speaking on behalf of Norway, Ireland, and Denmark. Norway, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Co-Chair, and Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you also to our two excellent keynote speakers this morning. Urbanization is one of the defining features of the 21st century. In less than 4 decades, 70% of the world's population is expected to live in urban areas. Hence, cities are where the battle for sustainable development will be won or lost, as the high-level panel put it. The cities of the world are likely to be a key arena to address a number of challenges: homelessness and slums, clean and sufficient water and clean air, sanitation and waste, health, education, empowerment of women and youth, sustainable energy, and climate change. To ensure sustainable cities, we need an integrated approach to these challenges. The MDG Target 7D on improving the lives of slum dwellers was met some 10 years prior to its deadline. But the challenges are still there, even bigger than they were 10 and 20 years ago. Urbanization may generate a number of challenges and as such add to the problems we want to solve. At the same time, due to scale, proximity, knowledge, and investment potential, the growing cities of the world also offer a number of opportunities. Take energy. Around 40% of urban dwellers in the developing world do not have access to energy. Yet around 75% of total energy generated is consumed in cities. Cities contribute significantly to global greenhouse gas emissions, yet cities have the greatest potential for investments in renewable energy and energy-efficient infrastructure. Take health. Outdoor air pollution is a large and growing problem in many cities, resulting in respiratory disease and millions of premature deaths annually. However, measures to reduce emissions of black carbon and other air pollutants are more easily implemented in cities than in rural areas. And it may be easier to develop well-functioning health services in urban areas. Take waste management. A vast amount of resources are used and discarded in cities. Insufficient waste collection and management result in environmental degradation and health risks. On the other hand, waste collection and treatment can be much more efficient in cities than in rural areas, and the potential for recovery and recycling is substantial. Take gender. Women and girls are frequent victims of violence in cities around the world. Many do not have equal rights to property and are excluded from the social and economic security this provides. But the same cities offer opportunities to address this situation, such as improved sanitation and safe public transportation to schools, workplaces, shops, and markets. Involving women on an equal basis with men in decision-making and urban planning may improve overall development outcomes in cities and beyond. And take transport. Transporting growing populations in urban areas often lead to local air pollution, noise, and waste of time and resources, while emitting greenhouse gases. But more urbanized areas may also offer the economies of scale needed for more sustainable public transportation systems that can also address many of the problems related to road transport. As the global climate changes, societies must adapt. To safeguard people, nature, and infrastructure from floods, storms, heat waves, landslides, and wildfires, we must plan and build climate-robust cities. Changes in infrastructure in cities, once built, are slow and difficult. If well planned, cities can deliver adequate housing, education, healthcare, infrastructure, transport, water, and energy, and reduce the ecological footprints and increase resilience more efficiently than less densely settled areas. Rapid urbanization is driven in part by the lack of sustainable livelihoods for rural populations. And sustainable cities also depend on a functioning rural sector for food supply and ecosystem services. We need an innovative focus on the synergies between urbanization and rural poverty reduction. Good governance is essential for sustainable urbanization. Sound national and local urban policies and well-functioning local democracies can pave the way for the holistic urban planning that is needed. And finally, Mr. Co-Chair, to release the positive potential of urbanization, we require strengthened partnerships involving local and national governments, civil society and community-based organizations, international organizations, academia, and not least, private sector entity. Thank you.
I thank the Senior Advisor on Sustainable Development Goals from Norway, speaking on behalf of Norway, Ireland, and Denmark. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is now after 1 o'clock, and I'm therefore going to adjourn this meeting. There are still a number of speakers remaining on the list, and we have not yet had an opportunity to hear from you today. So those delegations that have not had a chance to speak, we will give you the opportunity tomorrow morning, starting at 10 o'clock sharp. But in accordance with our organization of work, this afternoon at 3 p.m., my co-chair, Ambassador Tsaba Korosi, will be here, and he will be chairing the panel discussion that will be taking place on sustainable cities, human settlements, and sustainable transport. And so we are expecting that all members will be here this afternoon to engage in that panel discussion at 3 o'clock. It only remains for me to thank the presenters once again, Dr. Juan Claus and Ms. Lobo, for their excellent presentation, and to wish you all a good lunch. Meeting is adjourned.